What is going on? PND Ketchup, legendary Mortal Kombat player, a battle mode aficionado, esports legend of casting, a friend to animals and friend to humans. This one included. How you feeling tonight, bud?
Are you just going to get more and more extra every week? Is that the plan? Is that the
Yes,
intention of where we are?
yes. I have to
Welcome,
+1 it all the
everyone.
time. I have to.
I dread to think where we're going to be on like week 7 or something very, very similar. But again, to echo Tokyo's welcome, I'd like to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. This is our latest week of Friday Night Fights, the invitational that we've been doing the past couple of weeks and continue to. This is going to be week 3, and the entire direction of battle mode, that asymmetric 2 versus 1 multiplayer, 2 demons versus a really talented kit out Slayer. It's the whole strategy versus skill combination. And this week, very special indeed, because the recent balance patch that hit and changed around battle mode quite significantly in terms of the actual meta that players like to go for, and also the introduction to a new map, Torment, which looks like
Cool.
Tokyo and I have moved into Torment just a little bit. But this is going to be a week where this map competitively kind of makes its community debut. So you're going to see what it looks like. It's been out there for a couple of days. I can already see the comments coming in. So, you've been able to play on Torment a little bit, but from a competitive sense, we get to really see what makes this map tick. And it really is an interesting addition. It changes things up quite significantly, and a lot of demons you can rock on it. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, update 2 brought two major things into the battle mode sphere, which was, as you just well pointed out, Torment, this new amazing map, and it's the netcode fix cannot be understated. It was enormous in the fact that the hardest thing to hit in the world, everyone knows, is a Slayer because that is the Ferrari, that is the well-tuned Maserati going 8 million miles around the map. However, now that the network, the code has been improved, this is like the first pass at that. All of a sudden, hits are landing. Demons that were accurate before have increased accuracy because everything is just more where you expect it to be. So that is definitely going to be in favor for demons, which I am very curious if we're going to see tonight. But again, if you are just joining us for the first time, first of all, how did you find us? Who are you? No, but seriously, thank you. We love that you guys are here. And yeah, we're here to celebrate Doom Eternal's Battle Mode. It is a brand new id Software designed 2v1 multiplayer arena round based madness mode. It is super fun. It's skill versus strategy. Of course, like we just said, you've got the Dale Earnhardt Senior Neo plus version of the driver who is Tomatrix tonight, who will be behind the wheel of the Slayer, and you've got two other community legends, which is Kroniid, or Lord Kroniid as he's known, Kroniid Sama as he's known from some places, and none other than Conjugates. Who are just demon. These guys can like write novellas. It's like if there were a Bible, they'd have some chapters in it. So I am thinking that we might have some pretty spicy, pretty hot and heavy, pretty sweaty matches. And again, what you see behind us right now in the connected tissue through the internet that Ketchup and I have formed is none other than Torment, which we might be seeing tonight. Ketchup for the first time ever as a premiere for here on Friday Night Fights Invitational.
Yes. So I guess before we get into map number 1, a couple of things to run over in case anyone's new. I do sometimes see the questions in chat, the nature of how it's put together. Our players and their weekly featured matchups. There's a whole bunch of teams, Slayer players and demon teams, as a more accurate sentence, involved in this invitational round robin format. Everyone plays everyone across the span of 7 weeks. This is going to be that third week, and to kind of create the visual experience, players record their matches ahead of time. It's then chopped together where their point of views are then kind of laid over, and the spectator experience is created with some extra visual elements too, like the end of round upgrades, the power upgrades, the stuff that you really need to know about from a viewer's perspective, right? So it's all there
Yeah.
and it's all good to go. This is an interesting week for us, and we're really excited to have Tomatrix, Kroniid Conjugates all here because when it comes to demons, Kroniid Conjugates, they're very much scientists of the game, and this patch has changed the mode quite a lot in terms of versatility. The demons you can take, the loadouts you can equip, and really thanks to the netcode improvement, just the responsiveness of the summoned demons, and they play a massive part if you want to go that way. And we are going to be seeing that on some of these maps, none other than the first map, which is Celestial. And demon summons, I mean, it's the theme of the map, and I think there's a lot to learn, and you're going to get quite the demonstration of what the game can look like now. It's very different to what it was a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly. Every time you close your eyes, another demon is born, and because of that, to keep up, you have to read the patch notes, you have to stay sweaty, you have to get in there and play with pubs. But I think before we jump right into this, because we are going to jump barreling forward into this in just a second, I want to give a quick shout out to none other than a big reason that we're here. So this stream, as you know, is on Bethesda's channel. All of the Bethesda at Home streams, we've been featuring different organizations, all nonprofits, to try to get people to help raise funds for really, really amazing causes. And this one is really near and dear to my heart. So I'll give a little shout out here. If you do either !donate or !charity, anything that you can will go to the following. So the Trevor Project is an amazing organization, and they are basically leading the way as far as crisis intervention and suicide prevention services to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning LGBTQ, LGBTQ young people under 25. So minus my butchering of everything I just said, this organization is incredible. I highly recommend, if you can, please, please, please. If you can't donate, no bigs. I understand it's tough times, but spread the word, because these guys are doing some incredible work, and we would love all here together to be able to help some of what they're doing in their efforts tonight. But back to Torment, because that's where we are. It's behind us. It's here. Update 2 is live. I think it's time. If you're ready, Ketchup, I want to just sort of take the temperature here. Are you ready to just dive straight into a really sweaty match 1? Again, like Ketchup pointed out, this is the Invitational. Okay, so we are in a tournament. This is a 7-week series, of which the 8th week will be the finals. Everybody plays everybody. It's a round robin. Every week we feature 3 matches played simultaneously. Every part of the score is important, both wins and losses per round. Because if it's that tiebreaker where it's like, I'm 17-1, I'm 17-2, guess who's going forward? The one that only lost 1 round, because that's how math works. I'm not so sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it works.
We'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. So I'm good to go into this first map. I think everyone's, I can definitely say everyone on the stream today is in store for some fun matches. And I think it's about time to get into map 1. Celestial is going to be the first map in this weekly rotation.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I really want to just highlight the usefulness of the demon summons. You're going to see them a lot. They play a massive part on some of these maps, especially if you go in that direction. I think it's about time to get started.
All right, without further ado, let's go into the heavens of Celestial. I love this map. Oh, look at that Slayer.
Lineup-wise, there's already an interesting combo, and this is something that Kroniid Conjugates have rocked for a while. It's the Archvile and the Revenant, but they go in with the heavy defensive style. Heal plays a major factor here, and it's all about creating the demon summons, holding on for when the resummon happens, because if one of them gets glory killed, you can simply resummon it if you're quick enough. And it's a highly defensive game. We're going to spend a lot of this checking it out from Tomatrix's point of view, because it's how he conquers this kind of obstacle course that's been put in front of him. And the healing is used to top up.
100%. And you know that Tomatrix, there's some signature Tomatrix moves here. The Destroyer Blade starting the round, doing these bunny hops, because as he was on last time, first of all, you got to love seeing a brother and sister combo, just with Cacodemons getting exactly what they're hungry for and starving for, which is that sticky bomb. That sweet combat shotgun sticky bomb. But you know Tomatrix by the signatures as follows. Starts the round, Destroyer Blade, bunny hop, using the fact that you can keep momentum if you keep it going, just like that. And you can get those shots if you use those jump pads especially to add momentum. And those meat hooks catch up. The guy is hooking meat like he's a butcher in a shop.
But it's so important for mobility on a map like this. As you can see now, Kroniid's going a little bit aggressive to start things off, but we're not going to overextend. The goal is to still get the ammo soaked up. There's a huge emphasis on making sure that you're getting your loot blocks. You have to make sure you're syncing up your blocks. And now look, you've taken damage, we disengage, we wall up, we make sure there's plenty of summons to cause problems, but look at how quickly double heals can bring your health back. This is round 1 too, there's no tactician yet. That is how quickly you can get that stack back up from a demon side. And now, just keep the blocks. Get this ammo. That's a resummon, by the way. They listened out, or they looked at the visual element of the Kako demon about to run out of health, or they listen for it and then resummon it before you have a time to glory kill. And it shuts down the kind of stack that you can get. You still get some health because you're resummoning it, but it's not as much as it was before.
But I love the fact that we're on Celestial, which, this is one that I've heard players say that it can favor Slayers, but you gotta love also, by the way, that Tomatrix, even when he has no ammo on the super shotgun, he's like, my meat hook still has ammo, so I'm gonna use that as much as humanly possible. But what I love here is the amount of respect being shown on both sides. This is a super long round for Celestial based on the fact that there's been so little damage done to either the Slayer or the Demons, but it's because they're playing so cautiously. Because Ketchup, they are playing for stakes here.
You've got rid of a Kako demon. Here's one straight back away. It is the map of the Kako demon, but you have to make sure you play perfectly. You have to make sure every single block is right. It's mostly ammo you're trying to shut down. Here comes an angry Kako demon, point blank. Some definitely say they feel the Kako demons are a bit more aggressive now than they used to be.
I think we're seeing that.
Go in and pressure.
If there was
look
proof,
how fast he is.
I know. If there was proof in that minced meat, in that meatball, in that pudding, I'd say it's right here, right now in front of us, because these meatballs are aggressive. Those chompers are coming out. They're showing all the teeth.
Look, it's chasing him through the jump pad. It's like, hey, come here, Tomatrix. Here come the directs.
Oh my god.
This is the green light to go ahead, by the way. And that's the round. Wow. You play the long game. You play the long game, you catch the Slayer without resources, and then the natural base damage of the Revenant comes through. Remember as well, the Revenant buffed recently. The faster primary fire, the splash damage doing higher minimal damage, which means that those primary shots are way easier to hit now. Jump pads can set up for free directs. This is a little bit of a different loadout than you might expect, mostly from Revenant. If it's heal, it's Tactician first. It's because you want to get more of the summons, you want more haste, you want more heals. That's what really, really matters here. And Broiling Heat for the Archvile, you just take that every time first round. You need that debuff. It's too useful not to take. But hang on a minute. Tomatrix says, none of that. Get out.
That was, I love that. I know that transition where he went in, he got the poke damage, he took the teleporter, but I love how when he came back, he heard the healing volume out, and he basically disallowed them to just sit there, be comfortable demons, and kind of restack. And he did so much precision bolt damage with just poke after poke of switching between that and other just high DPS, per shot things. Like, as you see here, the precision bolt to the ballista. And that is a delete, but wait. Kroniid's still on the board, so you've got Kroniid. Oh, this is going to be oh god.
Nice.
The firewall is out, but really, really nice teleport there. Really nice teleport. My god, he got out of there with the skin of his evil teeth, just barely. Oh, is he going to get caught? And he is. He is. Wow, that was a close one there, Ketchup. I really thought that respawn was actually going to get activated. I thought he was bringing him back.
But the strat there was good. We can touch on it a little bit later. This is what I want to highlight. Double buff minions. The minions that you summon, with the exception of the power upgrade summons, we're talking about the Baron here. The minions that you summon deal more damage than they did before. The Kako demons are already a pain in the backside, and now both demons have just made them stronger. And one of them has Tactician. So you're going to get a little bit more summons. The aggression is there. The damage is insane. And if you're able to set up, you can start to play this defensive game, keep yourself topped up by healing cubes, and now the demons are way better than they once were. This is only really possible now in the current patch because the summons are more responsive than they were before.
Right. Like, you'll see the shield soldiers aren't just natural shields that stay there. They do still kind of guard around where the demon players are, but I love the fact that it's like they just basically built a tiny little Gold's Gym inside of Celestial, and all of a sudden everybody's getting buffer and buffer and getting swoller and swoller. There's nothing but gains coming out of these minions, and honestly, Tomatrix is having a tough time getting at these demons.
Well, we just saw 39 there from a regular chomp. In some of these situations, Kako demons can do up to about 79 damage per bite, depending on the circumstance, and you've got 2 of them. When we're talking about the summons, the Kako Demon is the star of the show, especially with this lineup.
100%.
They're aggressive, they've got good projectiles, the burst potential too, and they're chomp. And the fact they're a meat shield too, up close. I mean, if you summon them on a Slayer during a fight, they take up a significant chunk of space. Ooh.
That glory kill
just to get
I mean,
punched.
that blood punch going to the Kako as a block was amazing. You love to see it. He put the sticky bomb where that goes. He's got that Cacodemon out of the way, but God, they're just spawning those Cacodemons in, like, just making sure there's always one in the middle of the map, being a menace, being aggressive.
I like how Tomatrix is ignoring it and using it as a meat hook, just platform almost.
Exactly.
All right,
I mean, it's
here
like
comes another stun.
Every time you want to take that away, right?
Hey, the resummon's locked and loaded. You catch him before the glory kill, and look, there's 2 more Kakos ready to go.
More. Like
but you have to time it. You have to time it properly. You got to make sure that your resummon is ready. And when you listen to the kind of like the gulp from the grenade, that's kind of when you pop the resummon, shut down the glory kill and the benefits that come with it.
And I like how they're staying together in a way that honestly, I think before update 2, you wouldn't see demons staying together bunched up like that as often because they know when they get pushed they don't really have the defense for it. But now with these super aggressive AI that they're able to spawn, Cacodemons included of course, they're able to sort of, you know, kind of denote the fact that they can sort of
another resummon.
Get that? Oh my God. Every time a Kako is put off the board, another Kako is born. It's like...
We've seen more Cacodemon than actual playable demons on this map, and I love it. But I do love Tomatrix use of it. I mean, he is keeping the Cacodemon alive when he needs to, but look at this disengage. The heal coming through. Look at how quickly they're able to heal, while at the same time, if they have a block, shutting down his resources. Tomatrix regularly has been out of ammo and not in a position to fight. You may even look at this and think, why isn't he just going after the demons? You can't. Not with Cacodemons of this quantity constantly chasing you down. It's going to become a 4 versus 1 if you don't take care of them. And they just resummon. Here comes more Cacodemons ready to play. What's up, mate?
I love it too though, because it's like they're feeding Tomatrix what he wants at the same time, and it's like this battle between like, can I not meat hook or can I not put a sticky bomb in every Cacodemon's mouth because it's satisfying to do. I know I'm going to re-up on resources that way. I'm going to get, you know, by using the meat hook. Uh-oh. We got to push here enough.
The green light.
These demons
are the green light to go in.
It really is. Unless he gets that meat hook plus some flame belch now, his armor is depleted and they are looking super healthy. So I'm curious to see if they try to push this advantage. Wow, and they're healing on top of that just to get that poke damage back. This is such a nice defensive run. Ooh. Okay.
While the Slayer disengages, it's your chance to do the same thing and stabilize. Get your health back up.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Tomatrix is going to use that teleporter to try to, even though I know that, you know, the angles in this map are predetermined. Obviously, everybody knows them, but oh, look at all those. Okay, now they're pushing. He does use the teleporter, but wait.
Down.
Oh, the
surely he's done. That has to be it.
And there we saw Ketchup. We saw the difference in the way that when you pop that mobile turret on the chain gun, no longer covers that 360 of protection. That was just a masterclass in how that is really just what you see is what you get on that. Team heal coming out double. I mean, I'm worried because they're already playing so defensive. They feel invincible with that. So
Tomatrix has gone in for the Endless Rage, which is an intelligent choice because if you get that glory kill, it heavily makes you more dangerous.
Yeah.
So you are going to be able to kind of somewhat compete with that high burst damage. But the summons come through almost instantly. They put the summons down on the jump pad as well to shut down Tomatrix's ability to just get in and out. Now, fodder. Looks like he's going to try and, he's really building towards these glory kills.
And again, the way that they've been putting Cacodemons out and the way that he normally meat hooks to glory kill to them, I mean, it's already kind of in his flow right now. So I think it's a really, really nice choice from Tomatrix there.
Now, the double team heal means that essentially you can do exactly the same thing, but just better, right? You have the ability to do heal on command without having to stand in a box. Now, the summons are coming out. Look at how busy Tomatrix is with these Kakos that he can't ignore, all the while at the same time, Revenant peppering down the range, Archvile peppering down that range. Tomatrix just hasn't got an opportunity to play this game at the moment. There's just too many obstacles. And the loot block too. Oh, he's out of ammo. So it's the loot block combined with the fact that he can't get in, combined with the fact that there's just too much of an obstacle course in the way, and now he's got no more ammo.
But he's got the gas for it.
Another
Even though they blocked that one, he's got one more. He's waiting for it to end, if he can survive it. He puts a lot of good damage in, but he's only got enough. There we go for some fodder. Okay, he's back in
but he's
business.
surrounded.
He's got his ammo back, but my God, all the AI have just focused on him at this one point, so he's getting a little bit of distance. I like how in and out and aggressive he's being, but I'm not sure if it's going to pay off because look at his HP. Ketchup, he is in trouble right now.
And they're going to start to chase it down. And he's blocked on the shield, guys. Caco Demons for days. Trying to punch his way out of a bad situation. And that is one of the demonstrations over. That's not a guaranteed win every time, right? That's not what I will call the new meta. But
Yeah.
on certain maps, if you're really efficient at every single block and it's the right map for it and there's plenty of space to set up, that is one of the ways you can play battle mode now. And Kroniid and Conjugate, they've actually been working on this strategy a couple of weeks after Doom Eternal came out. They've had it in mind for that long. It's just that now the patch has happened and the summons are more responsive, and some of these demons are a little bit different to the way they were before. The Slayer's quick switching and the adjustments to that means that his damage output is not as just super high as it once was. It's still good, don't get me wrong, but there's been
still
changes
punches
to the
and
mode
punches,
since
yeah.
launch. Yeah, exactly. So there's so many moving parts that make that strategy work. And I think, what better time to have a chat than right now about to bring him in, right?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Internet poof. Look at that. 3 handsome lads, 3 mad lads up top. I'm gonna just start with the maddest of lad. At the end of that, Tomatrix, I saw that you were going for what you turned into. It felt like at first it was a skirmish. It was a horde mode of you versus cacodemons in Celestial. But at the end, I feel like you were trying to show them the sweet science. You were throwing some Sugar Rays. You were throwing a couple of haymakers, a couple of Mike Tysons. But you went in aggro at that Caco. Walk me through cacodemons and your experience in them in Celestial, please and thank you.
They're everywhere. They're just cacodemons left and right every single time I'd go to kill any of you. You just saw I probably used all my shotgun ammo just launching grenades into this.
There's one right there.
Also, he's got a green eye, so the green screen kind of makes it. Wait, can I do? Wait, what? Oh no, it doesn't. I was really. I forgot how green screens work for a second.
You thought it could go through him and look at you, and you could make your eye his eye.
I don't know how cameras work. But
Cacoception.
Yeah. So the amount of demons that are being put out on the map is just absolutely huge. There's just demons everywhere, and on top of that, you got 2 player-controlled demons that have brains, and it can get overwhelming really quick. For anybody who didn't know, you can stack the Flame Belch with the Meat Hook, and that's why I actually take Burning Hate, which a lot of people say it's not great, but I actually really recommend it because if you get your Burning Hate back twice as fast as you did before, or your Flame Belch twice as fast. And if you use that and a Meat Hook, you get 40 armor back per demon you kill. So you'll see, I like latch onto a demon, like a fodder demon or something, with a Meat Hook, and then I go directly at it. That catches on fire. I flame belch it and any other thing away. Then I switch to the precision bolt, shoot it in the head. It kills everything in the area because that precision bolt, if you get a headshot on like a fodder demon, it kills everything in the surrounding that are fodder. So you get a ton of armor back, and it's really efficient.
I love it. It's optimal Arsenal Slayer strat is what it is. And honestly, like there was nothing but armor that was needed because I'm going to bring in the only 2 guys that I would call if I was looking to buy a cacodemon that was purebred for my mother, because you guys were spawning them at such a rate that there was like an actual farm of cacodemons at your disposal. You were just opening the floodgates and letting them through. Kroniid, I'm gonna go on you first. You maniac. What's the deal with all these cacodemons?
So basically what happened is the day update 2 came out, we went to test how things are different. And one of the first things that we noticed was that when we were spawning the demons on the people we're playing against, they were actually more intelligent now because they're more responsive. And me and Conjugates have been playing this since early April, even though back then, like even though it was close to being meta, it wasn't quite because of the prevalence of Marauder Pain Elemental. And as soon as I realized how good this like AI was now, I was like, oh my god, I need to try Summoner Archvile again. On top of the patch before that week that buffed the Revenant. And so basically this comp just turned into a beautiful defensive summoner comp that have it's like basically all the AI together is like having a third player And the big thing that people don't take into account is that these AI could deal damage at the same time as we do. And so the overall goal, especially past round 2, is I just make the Slayer vulnerable. They're taking 25% more damage, and then they're taking damage from me. Conjugates tries to get his barrage for a huge source of damage, and there's 2 Kako demons and 4 shield soldiers and a prowler at all times on top of that. And if we set up this play correctly, which takes a lot of communication, it kind of just deletes someone even if they have full health and a portion of their armor, which is amazing. Granted, it takes a lot of coordination.
Yeah, but I mean, I think in a competitive setting, what I've because I've been watching the two of you kind of develop this a little bit for the past few days now, before the show and before you even played against Tomatrix. But one thing I always notice is that no matter who you practice this against, what kind of Slayer it is, what seems to also make it so effective in terms of like a competitive experience. Let's not forget the Invitational. You're playing for something now. These 3 maps in a row. It's all about trying to get the best results you can. This kind of comp is almost completely opposite the way battle mode was played before, even from a demon side. You know, there was a really established meta of Pain Elemental and Marauder was kind of the safe pick, and it was seen to be the most effective for many, multiple reasons. But now the way you play when you choose to rock this comp, it's so separate that Slayers need to learn how to fight it. You know, you can't play the traditional kind of battle mode, very, very combat heavy, constantly looking for that constant poke damage, and that's it. There are so many other moving parts that you're going to lose to this comp a bunch until you figure that out. And in a competitive setting, that kind of comp that you can pull out when the map is right seems quite scary. Now, Conjugates, in light of that, how does it feel from a Revenant side? You know, we don't normally see you play Revenant, right? But with this comp, you do. Why?
Well, we need some, because demons aren't really a reliable source of damage. So like if you want to reliably kill the Slayer, the barrage is like the finisher. That's like the thing that's gonna kill the Slayer most reliably when we get the opportunity. Although in this game I didn't get to show off my brushes as often as I would have liked, but the demons did their job, and we were basically playing an RPG, just like not RPG. I mean RTS. I mean an RTS, like
I know what you
summoning
meant.
up shit.
You're playing Warcraft 2
Yeah.
live Command and
Yeah.
Conquer. Speaking of which, though, like you say you didn't get to use your rocket barrage much, but I think it was like the end of round 2 or round 3,
Round
where
3.
round 3 when he went through that teleporter, like that had to just be like your birthday, as far as like that is the perfect
Yes.
like place and time to use the barrage. It was the perfect situation. There wasn't enough dash to get out of it. Like, how often do you guys run? Like, is your barrage a lot of the times, especially when he's getting low, is the strategy usually to try to get Kroniid to push him and sort of like bait him into you, or is it something that you try to be like aggressive with? Like, how do you guys usually play like that cat and mouse with, like specifically with barrage when you're running that Revenant?
Yeah, so basically Kroniid and our demon summons are kind of like distractions, so I can go in and do the barrage. In that case, basically they forced him into the teleport, and I was there waiting for him. Although it was very obvious from Tom's side too, because he had his Shingan shield out and basically blocked like 90% of the damage output from my barrage anyways. But I luckily finished him off with I think like 2 or 3 left click rockets anyways around their shield, so that worked out.
Just
Yeah.
there are so many different changes that led to that. You know, for those that don't know, the chain gun shield now is a front shield. It's not a kind of 360 protection like it once was. So someone like Tomatrix, obviously you're really good, right? So you've got that kind of reactionary weapon swap for when the time is right. The barrage happens and you can pull out the shield to still do what it's meant to do. It's just not the kind of complete protection that it once was. So it's many different changes, but a really good map one, and a great display of one of the many ways you can now approach the mode. And I'm ready for map true. Map true 2, which is Tundra. I don't know how I got tongue twisted there, but I'm ready.
It's because you took all the T's and you put them into one thing, because it's
I got too excited.
Tomatrix round 2, Tundra versus Kroniid and Conjugates, and that's how we do when we run the comp. And the comp is we're going straight in after a really nice 3 rounds to 1 on map 1 in favor of the demons. Let's see if we can turn it around or if it's going to stay the same. We're going straight into map 2. Let's goosh. Look at that
Now-
uppercut, the haymaker being thrown out before the match has even begun. It's a
I mean,
threat.
I love the fact that Tomatrix rocks that skin. You don't
Yeah.
really see a lot of Slayers rock that skin, so it's always nice to have players be a little bit, you know, individual with it.
Yeah, I
but
love it.
I mean, Tundra, look, this is a map that's super combat heavy.
It
It
is.
looks tiny. It's not 100% tiny because there is that kind of like room to disengage near where Slayer spawn is. But Tomatrix playing no games, destroy blade almost immediately. Now, lineup-wise, we have gone for a demon change. This is actually what we have grown to be mostly familiar with Conjugates and Kroniid, where you've got
Sure.
Marauder and Pain Elemental. It's a lot more
Running the
aggressive
meta.
on a map like this, where they're going to be crazy push heavy. The shield, I mean, Conjugates and his fearlessness with that shield is stuff that I never get tired of watching. But it's going to be something Tomatrix is going to be more familiar with. Now, there it is. That's the Flame Belch combined with the Meat Hook to stack the armor. He really is proud of rocking that Burning Hate to get the kind of extra Flame Belch when necessary. Because, I mean, it's what he's known for. He uses the Meat Hooks. He goes for an upgrade that makes the Meat Hook better. I mean, it makes sense and it's really smart.
100%, because Slayers that are at the top level, as Tomatrix is, when you can hit that Meat Hook and really like flick of the wrist on that mouse, you can get such crazy verticality, you can become extremely hard to hit, and then it's just a matter of how you control yourself in the air with where you're going to end up. But as you can see right here, running just the strat, he's a little low on ammo. See if this gets blocked. Of course it does, because you're playing against Kroniid and Conjugates. So they're playing a little do-si-do down here. Second one is going to get blocked. It isn't, because they didn't have any left, and so now this is a dangerous situation for them. As you know, the first round, of course, goes in the favor of Slayer just based on the fact of upgrades and starting kit. They are in trouble. Kroniid's on the back foot, but Tomatrix showing the respect here, getting a little bit of space because he was getting plummeted by those crazy Lost Souls coming from Conjugates up top.
With
Man.
their damage loadout, I mean, there's not really a lot of opportunities for them to heal. So Tomatrix was showing that a lot of respect, choosing to go in. There is a hazard, and this is quite scary. He's going to get some free stack. They are going to block this stack, though, and shut it down. The shield comes out. Is he going to be able to escape? Looking unlikely from this point, and that close ordeal. But with Kroniid having just enough damage to fight back, I think that's going to be a round one. Now, this is where the upgrades, I mean, this is more traditional. This is what we're used to. Got Master Carve, Fit Meatball, Tactician. You know, we want to be able to move and dodge around a lot more. Tactician early for Marauder. Marauder is a bit different too. I know the Wolf now has to, if memory serves, has to bite the opponent when Best Friend is live to trigger the damage reduction. So it's now actually seen more likely for Marauder to go for some of the more kind of basic upgrades where you go for the bigger bar, you go for the Tactician, because that way you know what you're getting every single time. You haven't got to rely on an AI to kind of get those benefits.
Exactly. I like how actually right off the bat, Tomatrix is kind of focusing on Conjugates, trying to get a little bit of HP away from him because he wants to make sure that as he's using that middle zenith, that tower to sort of be the second shield behind when his meatball shield can actually be up or down, he needs to make sure that he isn't the aggressor that he was last map, because that was basically his end when he popped that last meat hook and wasn't able to use it to get enough distance away. As you can see right now, he's rocking the lower tier mainly because, again, the higher he gets, the more he becomes in Conjugate's airspace. And as a pilot, that is a fighter jet that you do not want to be in the hemisphere of. So Tomatrix right now backing up, wondering if he's going to sort of make his way over to the telly, because again, there is a pretty decent, you know, like basically 50-50 of this map. But when you pop that telly and you go on the other side, it is a very dangerous situation if they start stacking demons in there, like the Arachnotron, and sort of body block you in there. He uses it, he's on the other side. This is an interesting situation right now. It's basically a 50 split across the board. So the next couple of hits here, I think, are going to determine how things go. He's using, oh, I love that ballista boost in the air.
Definitely caught him off guard. They weren't ready to go around there so fast. Exactly. You're used to him doing loads of meat hooks. Guess what? Tomatrix got ballista jump too, or boost is more accurate. Now having to wait for the delay. Able to get some of those resources back, but you'll notice they always stick around the middle. The Marauder has those tricky little angles where it's hard for a Slayer to chase down. The Pain Elemental has lots of cover. Uh-oh, Hell Knights. 2 Hell Knights. Oh dear, he's stuck. And that loot block coming out preemptively now means he has to escape. You ever go around a corner and there's 2 Hell Knights just trying to get involved?
2 bouncers being like, you don't belong at this club, get out of here! But honestly, the most important part of that exchange in the very beginning was Tomatrix landed a really crucial super shotgun on Conjugates before he can get his shield up. And you see Conjugates right now is the eye in the sky, the meat in the pillows as always. But the problem is as soon as that shield goes down, He's a super shotgun away from being a teammate that has to be spawned back in. Ooh, love to see that ballistic boost in the air. Oh my! Can we focus on the shots right now? Oh my. That was just the clinic on if you don't miss and you use all the mobility all at once, you can win the end of the round. Just like that. Blink of an eye. Okay, Burning Hate again.
Burning Hate.
Catch up.
Yep, I mean,
This guy is
done it.
committed.
Yes, but it just kind of fits his strategy and his style a lot more. You know, where he gets those meat hooks on deck. He's always got a flame, but pretty much as long as he's got a meat hook, he can flame belch it for the double, and that is why it really matters. And he's got good accuracy on that precision bolt headshot too, which we've seen can really go the distance in these kind of matches. But as we now go into the start of the round, the kind of traditional hiding point at the bottom of the map gives yourself a lot of cover for a Slayer that's almost guaranteed every time to use the jump pad to get in. And he's trying to brawl. Tomatrix, I mean, he's getting in, but oh dear, he's taken a lot of damage. Already losing his armor this early is a bad time to lose armor this early into a map. The boxes are going to be down, but now, I mean, this is their opportunity to be aggressive. As you can even see, Kroniid still has armored, so this is definitely advantage Demons right now.
100%. I mean, they threw those noxious hazards out so early, and the fact that they weren't taking damage while they were dealing it, I mean, they're in a situation right now that if they don't full push, I'd be super surprised, and that's exactly what they're up to. I don't know if Tomatrix has the mobility now, because now that he's in the back of the map, there's not going to be as much fodder to hook on to, so I'm curious to see how he's going to deal with all this pressure. My
shots and conjugate. Every single pain elemental.
Yeah, it makes you think that they have like heatsink, like he's shooting like Revenant rockets from like Doom 2, but those were just accurately and expertly landed Lost Souls. Sentinel infused, he needs the HP, he needs the damn armor, he needs the ammo, he needs it all, because honestly, he got basically bullied in the beginning of that round in a way that he was focusing on the AI and that let them do what they did. And honestly, both the team heals coming out, they got to be feeling confident going into this, what could be their final round of this map.
It's a good time to be a demon player right now, it feels. Those faster summons, I mean, just like that, Tomatrix just gonna hit for 35 in the blink of an eye. The Arachnotron is right in the way. And Tomatrix trying to really kind of play this hit and run game, but with two demons laying that pressure on thick. Yo, Prowler teleports right in front of him. Oh my, he took so much damage in that one encounter though. His armor's already gone.
Well, you saw that the wolf took a little bite too. He wanted a little piece. He wanted a little snack of that Slayer. I mean, the demons are coordinated in such a way now, and I'm talking about AI, not even just these two amazing demons that he's facing, but it's putting the pressure. Oh my gourd. That's the GGs, boys. That is the double G's all the way across the sky. Also, that Castle Grayscale Pain Elemental is giving me absolute life. Before we get into all the madness with those three nuts, I want to again just give a quick shout out to the reason for the season, the reason that we're here tonight, which is none other than this amazing donation for the Trevor Project, is what we are asking anyone and everyone who can to be able to donate to. So go ahead and !donate, !charity, an amazing organization that is like a beacon of light for all lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning young people under 25. It is all about providing crisis intervention and suicide prevention, which if there's anything more important in the world, I don't want to know what it is, because that's everything. So if you can, please reach out and donate. But back to the madness of what we just saw in map 2. Before we spawn them from the internet, is there any off the brain thoughts that you just needed to get out before we bring these madmen back?
I mean, what we really saw in that final round was just how easy it can be for things to go horribly wrong for a Slayer. And it's a big part of it can sometimes lie in those summons now. I think that's one of the most unfortunate if you're a Slayer, but amazing if you're a demon. Prowler teleport right in front of the jump pad when Tomatrix was using the jump pad to try and get out of there, create that space. And then in the blink of an eye, here comes this Prowler that's just appeared in front of you and ready to throw down. And that's exactly what happened. And then when things go wrong and you take all that extra damage that you might not have factored in, you've now got to deal with a really smart Pain Elemental and Marauder that can absolutely jump on that and stop you from being able to recover for pretty much the entire map. So that was well played and well capitalized on by the demons. But Tomatrix definitely just, that was an unfortunate circumstance at the end there. And it's just why you've always got to be on your toes, I guess. Anything can happen.
100%. And we're going to bring them back from the power of the internet, straight from Discord to poof up top. There they are. I'm going to focus first on the Mad Men to the right of your screen. Man, that is hard to do on camera. I swear to God, it's like left brain, right brain stuff. Kroniid Conjugates. This is for whoever wants to take it first. The question I have for you two is, with this new AI combined with the fact that in update 2, as a demon, you're now able to custom bind all of your summons to whatever key you like how much of that factor, and then the way that you guys already like to play on something like Tundra, which you can kind of like get demons in bunches, like I felt like I saw you guys more like free in a way, in the fact that you were putting so much for Tomatrix to deal with that you guys were able to sort of like move around the action instead of cause the action a lot. Like, talk to me about how significant first those binds were, and then secondly, again, what your strategy was with your picks specifically for AI in this map.
All right. So in terms of the binds, I don't know about conjugates, but I just use default. So for me, it was fine regardless. But
Yeah,
in
me too.
terms of spawning the AI, it's definitely like it was already good before the patch, especially for me, because I always thought that Erectrons and Carcasses were already two of the smarter AIs. But now
Sure.
that they're even better, they've become even better for me, obviously. For example, one of the big plans I always have in a game with my Erectron is I keep in mind how large the hitbox is, and so I'll purposely put it in front of launch pads or between myself and the Slayer, anywhere that I want to stop them from moving. And a lot of the time they'll run into it and they'll be like, oh God, there's an Erectron in my face. And so there's a lot of these calculated demon spawns where even if not for damage, I'm just putting them in places that I know is going to impair his current plan in his head. And he's going to immediately think of what he needs to do next because the hitboxes of my AI just made everything go wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you were stacking them in such a way where it was like Club Demon is population 2. It's you and your boy Conjugates, and it was like you were putting bouncers at all the right places where I was seeing him getting body blocked. I mean, it's common to see, kind of like the congestion in the middle underneath the tower, but yeah, by jump pads, it was like they were not safe, they were not easy to access. So Conjugates, speaking of, like, walk me through, you've always had amazing aim with the pain elemental. But specifically, like in some of the end around stuff, I was seeing like it looked like you had like homing missiles. Like, how big of an update for update 2 was the latency issue specifically for your accuracy when it comes to using a slower, like more methodical demon like the pain elemental?
I actually don't think there's too much difference in maybe it's slightly better. I haven't noticed it's a lot, but it's probably better. Maybe, yeah. I thank you, by the way. I don't think I'm amazing at aiming, but yeah, I guess I did hit a lot.
Yeah, you did.
You could have fooled me, mate. You could have
Yeah.
fooled me, but you're forever the humble one. But I mean, Tomatrix. So we're used to seeing you be aggressive as and when. You're really kind of known for those kind of flashy plays. Obviously, the use of the meat hook, all the stuff that's really fun to watch. But also, your aim can be really strong too. There was kind of a mix of results in that map where sometimes you choose to go in and you're able to kind of just do what needs to be done, but then sometimes kind of just get hit by this demon wall, and then the amount of damage comes out and the hazards. What feels a bit, if there is any differences, don't want to put you on the spot too much. If there are any differences right now, what feels different when pushing into a demon comp like this compared to before? Because sometimes it was hit and miss, right?
Yeah. Right now, with the new update and everything, the AI demons are much, much, much more responsive to pretty much everything. Not only do they, the moment you come in range of them, they instantly attack you, but the moment they spawn in, they register where you're at, like perfectly in time with them being spawned. And because that's a thing now, they can just spawn these waves of demons wherever they want on the map, as long as they have them off a cooldown. So I was somewhere else before, and then I meet hook away, and I'm out of the area, and then they just spawn all of the group of demons again, right where I'm at, and it's just a new wall. And because they're so much more responsive, you're just taking a lot more damage. It's harder to deal with. Sometimes you just panic and you don't know what to do, and you're like, "Oh crap! I just gotta shoot everything I have." And then you're out of ammo, and you.
But that's
it gets
that's what I love though, is like the fact that with this new update and with the AI being way more aggressive, like when it showcases like slayers like yourself, like at your best, like at the that round where you ended both of them in about maybe like 2.5 seconds, where you use the ballista boost to just like you're just max DPSing. You were doing some surprising, some crazy, like where you were showing up with traversal. Like that's what I love though, is it feels like the way that it's forcing slayers to play now, it's like absolute excellence, or like you might lose the round. Like chances are you're going to lose the round. You know what I mean? Because like when that round ended, that is a highlight reel. Like that was an absolute. That was one of my favorite finishes I've seen from a Slayer, where it's like there's 2 on the board. What's going to happen? They're gone. But it was like the way that it was styled out to which that they're gone. That is why I love you as a Slayer, and that was fun to watch, and I appreciate the show. So again, even if it was just 1 round in match 2, it's right here. It's right here. Lives forever. So that I'm going to despawn you guys for just a second. Poof. Because Ketchup, we are here to show 3 matches before, by the way, we show, I don't know, every other result for the week, because every single team, that's every Slayer versus every team of demons, plays every week. Of course, we can't show every single match on here. This would be like a 7-hour stream, which I'm all for, but we got to start earlier if that's what we're going to do. We're not doing that. What we're doing is showing a recap at the very end of this stream, like we always do, of every other match played. Yeah, spoilers. Spoilers everywhere. But here's a spoiler that you might like. We have 1 more match to go into, and I think before you just become a hologram completely, we should just launch right in.
I'm becoming more and more pixelated by the second. I don't really know what to do about this. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things. So our final map today, those that have been playing Doom Eternal, you've probably played this map a fair few times already, but in a competitive community setting, it's going to be Torment. So this is the first time on Friday Night Fights that this map has actually been seen in a kind of community competitive setting. As someone who has extensively played on this map, it's different to anything you've played before. Very combat heavy, but more importantly, I mean, it's the angles, it's how much room you have to kind of play this chase down game. Demons can be very smart with how they evade, but at the same time, Slayers can be very smart with how they approach. It almost feels like a map that was absolutely crafted for battle mode combat. And in the current patch, in the current version of the game, Torment is easily one of the most enjoyable maps. Now, I'm not going to say it yet because we are seconds away from jumping in.
Yeah.
You've seen Kroniid play certain demons. I don't think you're quite ready for this lineup. I wasn't, and it took me by surprise. And it's an interesting showing. I'm sure everyone else will enjoy it too. I'm ready when you are for Torment map 3.
I'm going to pull a fun audible right now. I'm going to play for a second a shout out to none other than absolute legend. I don't want to get his name wrong. It's Worthless Protoplasm. Did I add an ism in there? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play one more time his announcement, which I love. Shout out. I love you. And while I do that, I'm going to switch Discord servers, and I'm going to bring you back into the future.
Just swap in so I don't become as
This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. So just let this announcer voice, as Ketchup and I mute for 2 seconds, roll over you with the earthy tones of none other than Worthless Protoplasm.
Welcome to the Friday Night Fights Invitational, featuring some of the community's best players going head-to-head in Doom Eternal's battle mode. Tonight's competitors, playing Slayer, it's Tomatrix. And the opposition playing demons, Kroniid and Conjugate.
You're still muted for me. I think I'm unmuted.
All right, I'm yelling at you. I said that's how you fix things live on the stream. You just go poof.
Because at least for now, I'm all right. And now on that note, we can go into Torment now and do the final map.
Right. So again, shout out to our boy Worthless Protoplasm. We love you. Thank you for the contribution. But before we go crazy on shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to Tundra, the first time ever premiered here on Battle Mode Friday Night Fights Invitational. Are you ready, catch up, to get straight into this place right behind us? We're going there. Are you ready to go there?
I am. I'm sure you meant Torment, but you said Tundra. Because
I have T's on my mind. It's the torment of my soul, catch up.
Let's do it. Let's go in.
Here it is, Torment. Let's do it.
All right. Now, I said you're not ready, and this is why. An Elemental, Conjugates. All right, we've seen that one before. Haven't really seen this before. Kroniid going in with the Mancubus. Now, Kroniid is a smart player. You always know there's going to be something there. But on this kind of map, and hang on a minute, wait, we can talk about this in a second, because it looks like Tomatrix has already gone in. He has the Arbalist ready to rock, which is such a good anti-Mancubus strat. But, okay, pushing in, a lot of damage coming through, and yes, this is a thing that is happening.
God. Oh my god. Look, it might be a trick of the eye. It might be a trick of the eye, but when the smoke is popped with the black and white Mancubus, I swear to God, he's like less visible even than before. He's completely gone.
I'm going to give myself a personal shout out here.
Please,
I know the last time we had Mancubus on the show, I got the quick smoke description wrong. Big relief for me to have the right one this time. It's nice that now you do indeed move 50% faster after the smoke bomb. And yeah,
feels good.
This is the way it's going to be now.
Look
every
how
time.
Accurate these descriptions are, catch up. They're dripping with information. This is why.
Big relief for me. But also, see how ready they were for the teleporter at the start, just in case. But this is more the traditional start. So the left-hand side, on the demon side, to the left of red, it's a good position to kind of hold up and defend, because you've got lots of angles. That was a nice little Arbalist shot. Look how much damage Kroniid took just for one shot of poke. But look at the regeneration. The heal comes out already. Now, you do have to handle this matchup a bit differently. The Ballista does do less damage. I believe it's 250 for a regular Ballista shot. So Tomatrix's quick switching combos, they're going to be different. More emphasis on rocket launcher, precision bolt, SSG, kind of pretending the Ballista up close doesn't exist, because it just doesn't do enough damage to make it worth the ammo.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to see him switching to stuff like Super Shotgun or even Rocket Launcher potentially if he has a little bit of distance there, because he needs to do maximum damage, and Ballista's not going to cut the mustard when it comes to that big old boy in black and white coming at you with smoke, which is Kroniid rocking the Mankey. You got to love it. Also, can we just focus on for a second in this beautiful new map Torment, which is called Torment, by the way? That's what I've always said. It's always called Torment. In Torment, like, the way the monkey bars are like so perfectly placed in like different angles at different heights, I love it so much. In the fact that like they want to see Slayers like Tomatrix do what he do and basically just, you know, be on the ground only when he needs to be, only when he wants to be, because there's so many options, especially in that more outside area. Really nice combo, and it's such a nice. Oh my. Oh, here it is. Here it is. He's running the strat now.
Instant difference of combo, right? So it's precision bolt into rocket from range, because the Ballista, you just can't really risk using the ammo on the Mancubus that takes way less damage. And that was a change that was made. A little bit more of that coming through. You can see regeneration, healing cube. A good Slayer is going to be able to spam it out, and that's what that remote detonation was all about for Tomatrix, to shut it down. But you are going to notice how defensive they are in that part of Torment. It's the best part. It's the best place for demons to kind of dig their heels in and just set up shop, right? Exactly. Look at how much protection they have. Tomatrix has to hit a lot of ranged angles. Ranged angles are hard. That sounded like a double block to me, though, so it's going to be some free stack for Tomatrix. A rare mistake from the demon team right here.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be kicking themselves, because he's already pretty healthy, and the fact that he's got even a tick of armor when the Mankey being the biggest hitbox in the game. But wait a second. Oh, it was a really nice work with the flames there up close, but it wasn't enough because he was already so injured that now Conjugates is doing what he has to stay aloof, stay elusive, not be seen, not be hit. Oh boy.
Hey, didn't see him. He made no noise. Very smart for Conjugates to not use anything that just gives his position away. Now, this is the extra element to Torment. A lot of room. If you've got a good dash, like a Revenant's good on this map too. There's so many opportunities for you. By the way, jumping straight on Kroniid and using that free stack that spawns and the ammo to get yourself back up. But
I was
this
gonna
is kind of
say-
what I'm talking about. This map is constructed to just be, it's the mind game of hitting good range shots, lots of room for combat, lots of room to run away. As you can see, Conjugates are doing the exact same thing. There's just so many layers to it that it's like,
Yeah,
now we
exactly.
know how battle mode is played. This is the perfect map to play it.
Exactly. It's the best part of waking up, being demons in your cup, because this is a layer cake that you have to eat slowly. Like, there are so many options, both for the Slayer and for demons, for not only traversal, but to hide, to poke. Like, I love the lines of sight in this map. I love the way that even with AI, like, even though they're well spread, since there's so many layers, that adds complexity that actually favors the demon, I feel like, here. Because they can't bunch up as much as they can in other maps. But wait a second, we've got a full 2v1, like, in faces here. This is a face-off.
Oh,
This is a Nick Cage. This is an absolute Travolta stitch, and there's no way it's face-off completely for the demons there. Really nice round by Tomatrix. Caught him out. Every time the Mankey would respawn, he would punish him and not let him set up, which is exactly what you want to do. Burning Hate, like you said, this is becoming like signature trademark Tomatrix power,
Especially on this
end-to-end
map,
upgrade
lots of
for
fodder
you.
around, lots of meat hooks that you have to use. I mean, like, that's one of the bigger things on this map for Slayer is you have to use meat hooks to get around because it's so vertical.
Yeah,
And
100%.
stick burning hate, I mean, you're kind of just getting more reward for doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
Now, the opening combat. Trying to look for some free poke, perhaps. Trying to get some of that free damage, too. Conjugates blocking what he can, but yeah, that's
Ooh, the heal,
the
heal already
the
coming
heal
out,
comes
too.
out.
I
Yeah,
know.
for sure.
I was going to say.
Great minds think alike, mate.
I'm telling you. And the funny thing is, too, is when you
Oh,
see...
my.
Oh, my
no.
God. You almost didn't get out of there alive.
dear.
This is really, really sketchy now.
4
Really
HP.
sketchy.
I
Oh,
mean, yeah,
God. There was
4
no recovering
HP.
from
How'd
that.
you get away from that? You got the quick smoke of the Mancubus. You got the
Yeah.
haste that I don't even think was used yet. Yeah, scary times and one of the fastest rounds that we've seen. So we're going into the power upgrades almost already. The double team heal and the Sentinel infused. It's just really a continuation of what we've seen already. Now they have
Yeah.
split it up. So you've got 1 hazard and then 1 heal. So they're kind of splitting the load a little bit. You're going to get crazy burst as and when. They're using it at great times. But now double team heal means, I mean, it's the sustain. It's why this is the most popular power upgrade of all of them.
It's
Oh,
the
Destroyer Blade.
instantaneous nature of it. Yeah, Destroyer Blade's going to be coming out in effect. Remember, it goes all the way through walls. Ooh, I love... Okay. There is the respect shown only to give that super
Look at that
shot.
combo.
I don't know why I love seeing him make it. I mean, Pain Elemental with his back turn, just trying to dash the hell out of there. But he got in the face right there of Kroniid, and that he paid for dearly. You saw the team heals have already come out, though, so if Tomatrix can set up here and sort of get some really high DPS and some damage out, as he is right now with Conjugates, this could go in his favor fast because there is no team heal available.
I actually like how Conjugates is saving his, because they've got the healing box.
Oh, that's
so
what it was.
if you can keep Conjugates alive with the healing box, and then he's able to kind of sustain himself, look at how much he's getting back already, by the way.
Yeah.
A
This
lot
is
of
reset
discipline for
them.
Kroniid, for sure. And he's saved his team heal. So now
Yeah.
they can push and be more aggressive. They have traded off a little bit of that ammo advantage for Tomatrix. I don't believe a block was used, but look at the bottom. A block is ready to rock. And so is the hazard. This is a great combination.
And they're
That
being
would be
really aggressive right now, knowing that the... Ooh, okay. I was going to say, knowing that the teleporter isn't available yet, and then it came up. Again, all of these players, super high-level veterans, knowing exactly how and when these things work, so... That was no surprise to any of them, but still
shutting down the telly.
almost had enough. Wow, the aggression here coming out of Conjugates. You'd love to see a meatball just, try to push that spaghetti initiative. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Ooh,
while they're
okay.
pushing Tomatrix away, by the way, any downtime, heal. And look at how they're able to just pepper out that free damage while at the same time getting stacked back themselves.
Ooh,
All right, big
ooh,
combos.
ooh.
And he gets it. Oh, hits every single shot in
Wow.
the combo.
Really
Tomatrix
does. And he had to,
doing
right?
what must be
Because-
done.
Yeah, the push there from the Mankey, if the Mankey gets close, there's too much DPS, you get burned, you get toasted, you get roasted, that's it. But it was met with such aggression, and every shot hits, and that's what counts in pushes like that, Ketchup, is the fact that if you're both going aggressive, you better not miss, and you better be playing on the back foot if you're a Slayer.
We're going to get some of that range damage on Mancubus. He had the Ballista, and he swapped away to the Bolt almost instantly. There is a lot of matchup knowledge here, but an opportunity to push. The hazard's ready to rock, as is going to be haste in a split second for Conjugate. And now the push. It begins. Are they going to head him off? They're going to push both sides. Looks like he's going to meat hook in the opposite direction. Try to get out.
Ooh,
Massive
really nice
demand on
hazard,
accuracy.
Really nice hazard. Ooh, I love I love the heal volume too. Pushed it into where you needed to go. Wow. Wow, could not believe you got Kroniid out of that. Oh my.
Oh, he misses the shot. He missed the ballista.
Oh. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. He's getting resources right now though. He's not healthy either. Okay, wait though. Of course he's running.
It's very smart that he's using this opportunity to get some stack though. Yeah. Look at the stabilize. Look at the stack he's got.
He just restarted
really
the round. Yeah, he's doing great now.
Still got to be careful. We have seen that mad burst potential. Haste is ready too, and as is going to be the smoke grenade in the blink of an eye. You combine haste and quick smoke as the Mancubus, and it's just insane speed. Speed you would never expect a Mancubus to reach.
Which you love to see. You want to see somebody that big be really aggressive, and Kroniid's been doing a good job of it. So I'm curious to see. He's got to win one of these exchanges when he goes super aggro. He hasn't so far, but you know it could be Tomatrix's turn this time to, you know, to push back and maybe not have enough space or enough bailout. Because honestly, this is a complete reset right now. Look at all of them. Maybe Tomatrix could use a little bit more, you know, armor. But guess what? The guy is running everything that favors everything about.
Oh, he's taking a lot of damage though.
Oh, here it is. Here's the push.
Even
Here's
with
the push.
cube. I mean, this is a really scary time because now, Conjugates can be aggressive. So much health's going to go down. I mean, that's the danger of this kind of comp where you think you're healthy and then you blink and then you're not healthy anymore.
Exactly. It's like, did you take your medicine? Was your medicine all the shots that every lost soul and every bit of flame coming out of the Banky? Because if it isn't, you got to go back in and take it. Can we just focus for a second on how beautiful that map is? Like, I love the differences, not only of the layers, not only the verticality, not only the monkey bars and the way that you can move around it, but like the identifiable different parts of it. You've got the outside part of it. You've got the more like red-based side. I love that map. And I can't wait to see more of it. So
I think it was a great introduction. It was a great kind of, in terms of like just a community exhibition, right? It's an opportunity to see kind of what this map can do. And I've kind of said consistently since the map came out that it's almost even better. Now we know how to play battle mode and we know what the combat really entails, and the Slayers are hitting all their shots and the demons are nice and patient and careful. And then Torment comes out. I feel like if this was a day one map, it would be played quite differently to the way it is so soon out of the box. You know, 'cause this map only came out a few days ago, and we're already starting to see. Now, that's just one of many comps. I don't really often see Mancubus used on this map, and I think it was a great way to show it off. Time and a place, you can be nice and patient, and all round great showing. And Tomatrix, I mean, he really fought for it. It's just, the patience of Conjugates and Kroniid is quite inspirational. You know, they really do play a methodical pace, and then you think they're super defensive, and then they just pounce. They just start going in, and different all round.
Speaking of, should we just bring them on back for a little fireside chat? And by fireside, I mean Torment side chat. Here we go. Poof, there they are. Tomatrix, first of all, it looks like you went from being like a Sega Genesis to like a Sega Saturn. You're looking great right now. I think you're also muted, which I appreciate for when we're playing the matches.
Well, it means that Tokyo's not alone now. That means he's not the only one that's done it. So it probably makes him feel better. Now,
exactly.
Now. So, Tomatrix, I've got to ask. I'm assuming, obviously, you don't communicate with them before the match begins. Were you expecting Mancubus?
I did communicate them before the match, actually.
As in they told you what the comp would be.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually really bizarre.
When they told me that, though, I wasn't expecting it. They're like, yeah, we're like, run Mank. And I was like,
say that again.
Well, you've got to set up matches and stuff, but I didn't think that actually straight up. That's just good guy Kroniid and Conjugates telling you what they're going to pick before loading in. Some people
I feel like that's the match before the match, right? Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? This is nuts. So yeah, with these nutters giving all right, Kroniid Conjugates, like you're telling the Slayers before you play them what you're going to play. And by the way, you just ran the gambit on. You showed us every single demon tonight, did you not?
Indeed.
Was that part of the plan, or was that just map specific and matchup specific?
A bit of both. I've always wanted to show off the flexibility we have. And also, I will say that the demon choices were not like completely random. What we chose is what we truly believed to be our best chance of winning on every map based off of our scrims.
I mean, I recall we chatted a couple of days ago. It was when we were talking about the kind of summoner archvile and stuff like that. We were just chatting in the Spicy Demons Discord. Shouts to that. But I remember you specifically telling me once you were like, your goal eventually is to have like really good strategies for pretty much every map, where you're always going to be versatile and you've always got these kind of options, right? And I think you did a great job of showing that today. I mean, what kind of, I don't want to, obviously don't give away too much because we still have the invitational many weeks left to go, but how comfortable are you in terms of like the layers you have of comps now? Is there still plenty more to show? Do you still have some more kind of secret weapons, I guess?
We have a few more tricks up
We'll
our
see.
sleeve.
I won't ask you what, but that's all I needed to know. But yeah, Tomatrix, I mean, your movement is what you're best known for, and there's an opportunity for us to chat about the new map a little bit. What was learning Torment like for you?
The monkey bars are all set up perfectly. So if you time your double jump right at the peak of your height, you'll get up to that higher ledge, especially in that middle platform, which I'm sure they designed it like that on purpose. Meat hook, you can just get enough verticality to reach the ledge as well. Like from the lowest point to the highest point, if you time everything right, you have to double jump, then meat hook, then do your meat hook jump, and you'll reach the platform no problem. But if you don't do it just like that, you actually won't even reach it. And there's so many spots where you can just, it's such a big map. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
look like it from like a
No.
spectator point of view, but when you play it, it's huge.
Yeah, it might even be the biggest for me.
And it's just these giant hallways. If you're playing Revenant or Mancubus, it's just NASCAR. You're just flying around the map 100 miles an hour. And then Slayer, you just meat hook as fast as possible down these long hallways, and it's a blast. I love it. It's beautiful. Great new map. Couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, I saw you picking some fights, like specifically when you got to that top level of the layer cake. Like it's nice that every now and then there'd be some AI up there, and it's one of the places that a lot of times if demons are kind of going like side A or side B, I saw you like kind of like get your resources together up there in a way that I was like, this is actually really nice because like you said, everything feels compact, but it's actually like as soon as you start using those monkey bars and moving around, like you'll put yourself in positions where you're like, you're out of their line of sight. You're out of their line of sight. Like it was some really, I don't know, you had some nice escapes there. But I gotta say, like it felt like there was like a Kroniid and Tomatrix like 1v1 going on like half of that map. And I know that the Mancubus, do like to push, do like to get close, do like to light it up. But like Kroniid, was it like with your guys' comp specifically on Torment, is part of the bait just being like, I'm gonna hard push? Because I feel like I saw you push as the Mancubus like more than I've ever seen like a Mancubus push, especially when it's not like the double Mancubus that we saw out of like Nero Redgrave and Moonmarooned. Like as a solo Mankey, you were doing a lot of hard pushing. Like walk us through that strat on that map specifically of why you were pushing so often with the Mancubus.
So one of the big reasons is just the fact that Conjugates is a partner when it's Pain Elemental. I personally think he's the best guy at surviving in the world. I could be wrong, but he's a god. And so when I'm the Mancubus, and all it takes is one good push for me to actually kill Tom, we kind of take a risk in the fact that I know that more often than not, Conjugates can last 20 seconds without me. And so I just take the risk of being like, "Hi, Tom, I'm going to get in your face and I'm going to see which one of us dies from this. And if it goes wrong, we have 20 seconds and then we could do it again. And if it goes correctly, the round's over for the Slayer. We won." And so it's a pretty nice risk to take.
I mean, straight off the back of that answer, an opportunity to really ask you, Conjugate. So, with that in mind, what do you think it is about how you play that makes you so efficient at surviving? Like, what are the things that you look out for? What's the trick, if there is?
Mind games, knowing how the Slayer moves is, I think, the number one thing you have to know if you want to survive against good Slayers. Especially as the meatball, most of the game that like when I'm alone and my teammate is dead, is basically us knowing where the Slayer is going to go next. Knowing where it's gonna go, like checking the corners. Like at one point, I didn't. I just checked the corner. Oh, there's a Slayer, and then I don't know if you remember, but I was just trying to hide, and also just I want to like say that Torment is an amazing map for hiding. especially as the meatball. There's like, if you're at the top middle parts of the map, there's like 5-6 different directions you can go, and so this is some great opportunities for mind games and just like sneaking and hiding.
Love it. Ketchup. This
I
is.
was waiting. I thought you had a question, so I was just giving you a time. I didn't want to do that thing because we're in an online call and there's delay. So sometimes if we both try and speak, everyone just says something at the same time, and then it's
bologna sandwich. Salami.
Anyway, you were saying.
Oh, I was just gonna say that before we go to the results of every other match played this week in week 3 of the Friday Night Fights Invitational. I love this section where we do call-outs and we do sort of, highlighting the people in our players' lives, both that they play with online and that are in their more IRL lives. They're not online lives. They're offline lives, as it were. Ketchup, if you wouldn't mind, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, this show is nothing without the players and the wonderful community that take part and enjoy the game and enjoy the mode. And we always try and give every player their opportunity to thank whoever. And in the spirit of that, Tomatrix, you're up first. Do you have any end of stream shoutouts?
Absolutely. I've got 4. Hey Kyle, Zambit, Bazooka Joey, and Defiler Phil. Those 4 have been 4 of the greatest people in this community that have been super great friends to me. Love them all to death. Joey streams every night, or kind of every night on Twitch. He's live at like 10:30 p.m. Go check him out. Kyle streams all the time. Zambit does not. Phil's a great dude. Hilarious. Value box. He'll get it. Love you guys to death.
Awesome, man. No, definitely shout out to those guys. Prominent members for a while. Even Tokyo and I go way back with like Joey and stuff like that. It's been crazy to see that where we are with battle mode now and everything that's going on. But yeah, Kroniid, you're up next to me. Have you got any shout outs for people?
All right, I think I've got quite a few this time. So first of all,
As many as you want.
I'd like to shout out Kevin for existing. Everyone in the chat will understand that one. In addition to that, I would like to shout out Conjugates for being the best Swedish partner ever. Also, I would like to shout out Tomatrix for honestly being the one who got me into high-level battle mode in the first place, because once upon a time, I was just a random player, and I honestly didn't have that much confidence, and he was like the best slayer in the world in everyone's eyes. And I fought him for the first time, and I did better than I expected, and we became really good friends, and we both came a lot from there. And in addition to that, everyone in the Spicy Demons, especially Zero and Dude Hell Yeah for spearheading the entire community. They are so good at doing what they do with the community. Kyle and Heartbeat for basically being our guinea pigs this patch with the Archvile Revenant comp. They got to experience it firsthand when we had no idea whether it was going to work or not. And they did a good job of tolerating the surprise, I'd say. And is that all of them? I think that might be all of them. Yeah, we'll say that's all of them.
It's a good list.
And I guess last but not least, main man, Conjugates.
Yeah, I guess Kroniid mentioned most of them already, since we are kind of in the same circle. Yeah, I guess outside of that, I guess I wanna thank my friends in real life, or like IRL. I know they're probably sleeping now, but I'd like just to shout them out. They're really great friends and known them for a long time. And also to Tom and Kroniid, of course, that have played with me. Actually, it's basically the same thing with Kroniid. Tom got me into high level battle mode. So
this guy's like
great.
a battle mode pimp.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, I've got to do something I never do and kind of jump on this and give Tomatrix a shout out, because I know when Doom Eternal first started hitting out and content was out there and everyone's checking out YouTube and stuff like that. I know Tomatrix is definitely one of those players. You've been a real prominent player and definitely passionate about a higher level of the mode. And I definitely think it's fair to say you got a fair few people into this mode to begin with. So everyone in chat, shout out to Tomatrix and all that and all that good stuff.
Of course, shout out to you two for making this happen.
Yeah, we just like video games, mate. That's just how it
What are you
is.
talking about? We all just showed up. This is what we do normally. This is what we would normally do. Just turn on the cameras and show some battle mode. It's Friday night. What else are we gonna do, right?
But with all that factored in, I want to extend a massive thank you to all three of you, you fine players, for joining us and definitely giving us some of the best games that we've had on Friday Night Fights so far. It was really always insightful to watch how Kroniid and Conjugates approach the mode. Always a great time watching Tomatrix play. Definitely one of my favorite episodes we've done so far. And thank you very much for joining us.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Thanks, boys. GG's. We're going to
Good
poof
games.
you away from the
GGs.
internet for just a second. That was a really good send-off. Don't forget to check out Tomatrix's YouTube. It's YouTube/ I was going to say Tomatrix Gaming. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Really good content there. But there's so much more content, and by so much, I mean there was a lot more matches played this week than what we just saw catch up. So if you and I can just mute ourselves so that the other you, the you that lives only in the internet on this recap video, can speak for both of us, I think it's time. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's check out what else happened in week 3.
Welcome to the weekly recap of the Battle Mode Friday Night Fights Invitational. What happened off stream in week 3? Here's the answer. Bazooka Joey and Defiler Phil defeat Bite Me with a 3-0 result. Grizzly takes on Nista and Swansong and manages to secure a 3-0 for his Slayer play. Dude Hell Yeah and Zero Rex go up against Ten Secco. After a tricky couple of weeks, they get a convincing 3-0 victory here. Miss Heartbeat takes on the deadly duo of Doomsday Ronin and Fullback. It's a 3-0 for the Demon team. Hey Kyle goes against Schlippy and Pinocchio. This one was a 2-1 victory for the Slayer. Finally, Zanarathaz takes on Nero Redgrave and Moon Marooned, but it's another 3-0 for this Slayer. Here are the current standings, and remember, you can tune into the weekly featured matchups every Friday at 7:30 PM ET over at twitch.tv/Bethesda.
That's a lot of Torment, which is exactly what I want to see all the time now, because it's in the game. It's the newest map. I want to see it every week. It might not be every week, but we're going to see a lot more of it, of course, here in the Friday Night Fights Invitational. But in case you didn't get enough to see it at the end, I'm going to pop up for a second here. This is the most current leaderboards. So this is all the results after week 3. You've got Zan standing on top of the human totem of Slayers, of which he's only dropped a round, but that is significant because that round that he dropped was this week. 27-1. Hey Kyle having a really amazing week 3 here, and then now moved himself up to second place. Miss Heartbeat still doing work, trailing just behind Hey Kyle. Tomatrix now moves into 4th place, but again he's right in that middle split, and he is just barely inched out above Grizzly. Tenseko having a tough week, but still in the running, and Bite Me getting it together, honestly. He only had, I think, 1 as of week 2, so he's putting it together piece by piece. He's got a tough lineup. He's gone through a lot of it, and he's got more to go. Kroniid Conjugates, these maniacs are now only 27-5, but again, a couple of those coming from none other than Tomatrix this week. Fallback and Doomsday Ronin getting aggro, getting super aggressive, just trailing just behind in second place now. Bazooka Joey and Defiler Phil also moving up, but Moon Marooned and Nero Redgrave are just behind there. Dude Hell Yeah and Zero Rex put it together this week. They had a really tough couple first weeks in the Invitational, but putting it together now. Schlippy and Pinocchio getting their footing, and Swansong and Nizda getting some W's to just sort of feel like what it feels like to just run through the whole thing, because these dudes are legends and they have it in them to do what they want to do.
While we're here too, always worth mentioning, pointing out that in the recap we talk about the map count, but the rounds are the absolute one of the real main things that are factored in here. And in regards to, I saw a couple of people asking about 2 leaderboards. There's only 2 leaderboards in regards to the fact that there's one for the demon teams and there's one for the slayers. Everyone will face off against everyone, and the entire goal of the invitational is to have the top demon team and then the top slayer. So this is kind of the nature of where we have the set demon teams, we have the set slayer, and they are the two kind of separate but not really leaderboards that you're looking at right now. So we're only in week 3. We have wrapped up week 3, but there's plenty more battle mode where that came from. And in the nature of a round robin where everyone has to play off against everyone, we're only really going to see how people are truly shaping up a couple of weeks in, right? Because then everyone's kind of played the majority and we have the final ones to go. But I think everyone's done well so far. Like, some people have had some stiff competition in the first few weeks and starting to kind of really start to get it together a little bit. Others, and someone like Zan looks almost completely untouchable right now, with except for one round. But I think we're starting to get some useful information, that's for sure.
100%. But again, this is just week 3. There are 7 weeks that we will play, and that means that every single competitor you just saw up on the leaderboard, up on the screen, will play every other competitor, and every week we will feature a different set, a new Slayer and a new Demon here for the Invitational that you haven't seen in weeks prior. Speaking of which, it's the perfect time to launch right into what is next week, which will be an amazing matchup between none other than Miss Heartbeat versus Moon Maroon and Nero Redgrave. I'm really excited to see how these new changes affect this matchup in particular, because Moon is a self-proclaimed Mancubus maniac master. And Nero Redgrave, we've seen him go manky also. So if we just start to see that crazy bully ball of straight big boy bouncers on the maps, I'm afraid for Heartbeat, even though Heartbeat, as you saw, is in 3rd place right now, but just, and has a lot to prove, and is an amazing Slayer that has dealt, really well with all these changes too. So it's gonna be pretty
hey, look, at the risk of sounding biased, I've got faith in Heartbeat because she's been getting better and better. I know that with the current version of battle mode and how the changes have definitely really altered the game since where it was at launch, but she's always one of those players that just really dives into things and just plays to learn regardless of result. And I really think that she's just shaping up to, without question, be one of the best Slayers in the world. 100%. And it's an interesting matchup because it's not going to be your conventional demon team. You're completely guaranteed to have a Mancubus, and Nero, quite the scientist himself. So I think it's going to be a really good week.
100%. But again, that is next week, same place, same time, right here on Bethesda's channel on the Twitch, and that's going to be 7:30. It's going to be Heartbeat, it's going to be Moon, it's going to be Nero. But we keep the party for Doom Eternal going at all times, so we are going to pass the baton to none other than someone's going to say friend of the podcast, friend of the show. It's Under the Mayo. It's your boy. He is streaming right now.
Excellent.
Love this guy. Love this guy. But speaking of love, we love every single one of you for being here. Thank you for giving us a reason to come back every week and bring you the best community competition. It is by you. It is for you. We love you guys. And speaking of love, this guy right here. God damn, it's hard. There he is. Love this guy right here. That's Ketchup. Love you, buddy. Thank you for another great show.
Cheers, everyone. Much love all round. Just same time, same place every week. This show is nothing without the community to get involved and play. We're just the 2 people that run it, I guess, right? Just put the show on, but the gameplay is really what's special, and everyone's enthusiasm. So, like every week, I just want to extend a huge thanks to everyone, and we'll see you next time. Much love. Take care. Stay safe.
Exactly. Happy 4th. See you guys soon. Stick around for Under the Mayo in 3, 2, 1. Get rated.